Our first protist is probably the most well-known, and that is the amoeba. The amoeba is very much animal-like with the way it moves and eats. It is a heterotroph. It will surround its food and will absorb it into itself. And it moves by using cytoplasm and pushing that cytoplasm in different directions, and that's known as a pseudopod. Our second protist was Spirogyra. Spirogyra is a long, thread-like type of protist. They are made up of individual little protists. You can see the boxes that are connected to one another. They are autotrophic. They make their own food. It's a type of algae. They do not move. They form together, and they form these long chains in order to better reach the sunlight, making them autotrophic with no movement and plant-like. Our third protist was the Volvox. The Volvox is a type of algae. They are colonial. Each one of those little dots that you see on the Volvox, every one of those little dots is an individual Volvox. And those individual Volvox all move with a flagella. A whole bunch of flagella moving at the same time creates this movement of the Volvox. They are also autotrophic. They make their own food. The number 4 protist that we looked at was our animal-like Blepharisma. It is animal-like because it is heterotrophic. It eats other organisms for food. It moves by cilia. You can see the cilia in the front of the Blepharisma. That cilia provides movement, and it filters in food for the Blepharisma to eat. Our next protist is the Euglena. The Euglena is both plant-like and animal-like. It has chloroplasts to make its own food through photosynthesis, but it also will seek out food. It is also a heterotroph and autotroph. Because of this, you can see the movement it has in the back. It uses that whip-like tail, the flagellum, in order to move it around. So, very complicated protist, both plant and animal-like, and heterotrophic and autotrophic. Our number 6 protist was the stentor. The stentor is an animal-like protist because it is a heterotroph. You can see in this case it's trying to eat this amoeba, and it's about to get it, and, oh, does it have it? Oh no, it lost it. That's okay, it's going to get another shot here again. It moves using the cilia in the front. They like to attach themselves to things, and there goes the amoeba, making this stentor heterotrophic, moves with cilia, and animal-like. Number 7 was Caustusium, an algae, so it is plant-like. It makes its own food. It is an autotroph because we said it was plant-like, and it doesn't really have a type of movement. It is an algae, just floats in the water, and it does have this very interesting movement at the front of it. That scientists believe that this type of algae may be good for cleaning up nuclear waste at some point. So very interesting protist here. Cosmoerium is our number 8 protist, and it is a plant-like protist. You can see all that chlorophyll there as this one divides, creating 2 Cosmoerium. It is an autotroph. The photosynthesis takes place inside the chloroplast inside this algae. The type of movement, it is an algae, so it floats in the water and doesn't really have a type of movement like the animal protists do. Dinium here, and this is an animal-like protist. That shouldn't have been hard from the video you saw of the Dinium eating that paramecium and totally engulfing it and swallowing it whole. It does move by the cilia that you see on the outside of the protist. So it is animal-like, it is a heterotroph, and it moves using cilia. Number 10 was Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas in this case are the round ones. That is a Euglena making its way through the Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas are plant-like, they are an algae, but they do, you can see the whip-like tail, it does have a flagella. So these do have flagellum, so they move using that. They make their own food, which means they're autotrophic, and they are plant-like. And our number 11 protist is the Euplotes. Euplotes move using cilia. You can see the cilia moving on the outside. They also have a fused type of cilia in the back called cirri, that are a bunch of cilia that have kind of fused. They've become stuck together to create these real tough legs or appendages. They are heterotrophic. You can see they filter things inside of it like this one just did, and they move using cilia, and it is animal-like.